Hello and welcome to Lisbon, Lisboa, our second home. We are here, we just got in yesterday. We actually took the day yesterday and showed my parents and my aunt Belém. So we went to Pastéis de Belém, the famous bakery monastery place where the pastel de nata was born. And if you don't know what that is, it's the Portuguese egg tart that's just so delicious. You have to come and try it. They're actually probably the most famous pastel de nata bakery, I'd say, because they claim to have founded the pastry. And then we showed them around Jeronimo's monastery, which is, again, just an epic place, somewhere you have to go if you are here in Lisbon. But this is actually the last leg of our little European summer adventure. If you were here for the previous episodes, you'll know that we went to Puglia, we went to Rome, Florence, Porto, Algarve, and now we are finally in our last destination here in Lisbon.
Yay!
Have you had a good time? You look very dark, like you've had a great time.
I've gotten too much sun.
So we have about 4 days here, I believe 4 full days before we fly home to Toronto, but really excited to show you around. Of course, if you've seen or follow along on our adventure, you'll know that we actually have a home here, which is where we are right now. Our home is located in like the area of Graça, which is pretty central to everything, so hopefully we're gonna be able to see quite a bit. We've obviously been there before, but we're really excited to show my parents around and to see a bunch of the sites that I feel like you have to see when you're in Lisbon. It is, however, 35 degrees here in Lisbon, so it is a hot summer week, so middle of the day has been reserved for siestas. Before we get started, a very big thank you to our friends at Henry's for partnering with us and sponsoring a portion of this video. Honestly, a dream partnership because all of our camera gear is not only available at Henry's, but we're also pretty much purchased at Henry's. So a big thank you to them. We're gonna walk you through all of our travel camera gear, all the stuff that we bring with us. As content creators, our gear is pretty much our lifeline. So excited to share that and break down all the gear that we use on the way to create content. But with that, today, we are actually going to be headed to the famous Tram 28, if I'm not mistaken. Anyhow, it is a tram that takes you basically through all of Lisbon. We're gonna start at the beginning point, make our way all the way to the end, and it kind of gives you like a little tour of Lisbon. It's about €3 to ride, cash. If you have this little Via Viagem card, it's like €1.50. So really inexpensive way to get around and see the city in a short amount of time. But we are going to do that, and we actually have never taken a tram here in Lisbon. So picking up the tram. Picking up the tram from Sapadores was not successful, but we're gonna keep walking, see if we can maybe pick it up from Martim Moniz, which is where it technically starts. I want to say it's still gonna be a long lineup, but again, fingers crossed. Here at the beginning, but still a line, even at 9:30 in the afternoon. We are now at the front of the line. Martim Moniz for the win. Hopefully gonna make it on this one. Good morning. We are up fairly early. It is about 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun is coming out, but we specifically wanted to head out early to start shooting because the early bird catches the worm. But it's also just so hot here. It's really hard to shoot midday, and it's also high season here in Lisbon. So you've got a lot of people out and about during the day. So you want to get shooting, get your shots in quick. We got all of our gear packed up in our backpacks respectively, and we're headed to our first spot, which I think is Praça do Comércio, or close to it. Life of a creator, just carrying lots of stuff around at all times. Lots of bags of stuff. A chaotic mess, but somehow works.
Have I come undone, or have I only just begun?
All right, home from shooting, took a little nap, and I'm gonna walk you through all of the camera gear that we use, which is all available at Henry's, one of our go-to stores, if not the go-to store for us in terms of camera equipment, creator equipment, pretty much just everything we need to create. So much more of our gear is also at home, also from Henry's, but I'm gonna walk you through the stuff that we bring in our travel camera gear pack. All right, first up is my workhorse baby. I've had this for, I don't know, 5 years now, and it is still going strong. It's still my favorite. It is the Canon 60 Mark II. It's got the flip out screen at the back here, which is so handy. My favorite camera body, period, full stop. In terms of my favorite go-to lens, this would be it. It's the Sigma Art 24mm 1.4. 1.4 is what gives you that beautiful creamy bokeh background, but it's wide enough to capture landscapes and portraits. I feel like it's just a really versatile focal length. Recently, we picked up this new camera body. It's the Canon EOS R, which is a mirrorless camera. A little bit lighter, better specs. Obviously, this is actually Dave's workhorse. We interchange quite a bit depending on our use case. We typically will always have two bodies on us. And then this lens here is a Canon 85mm Prime 1.2, even creamier, but great for those really close macro shots. For phone content, we have the Digi Osmo. There is a newer version of this, so I'll link the newest version. I think it's the DJI 5, Osmo 5, but this has been a great workhorse for us, especially with all of the phone content that we've been shooting. We kind of mix it up between DSLR and phone content. I feel like that's the best way to do it. Last but not least, although its camera battery is currently charging, is our baby drone. Well, not really a baby drone, but this is the DJI Mavic Pro. This is the very first drone that we've ever got. It's still the one we use all the time. I don't do a lot of drone video, but Dave does for me, and he does a lot of drone stuff on its own. It's just such an epic, creative way to create content. You do have to have a license to fly a drone in most places, but if you do get that license, these drones are incredible and just give you a view of wherever you are in the most epic way. And that's pretty much all we use. It seems like a lot of stuff, but somehow fits in two small little backpacks that Dave and I kind of share the load on. But hopefully that helps if you are an aspiring creator, if you're thinking of upgrading your camera gear, or just interested in what gear we use. In terms of the camera that I'm currently vlogging on, it is the Canon G7X Mark III. It has this really cute vintagey look to it. My model does, but the G7Xs in general, I've tested so many vlog cameras and it is still my favorite. So if you're looking for a vlog camera, that one is also a great go-to. I will link all of the equipment, like I said, in the description box below. But if you are in a neighborhood that has a Henry's, I would definitely stop by, take a look, feel the equipment. I feel like that's really important, how equipment feels in your hand. But continuing on our Lisbon adventure, we are here for 2 more days. Today we are going to bring my parents to Time Out Market, which, if you're unfamiliar with, is a food hall market sort of thing. It is one of Lisbon's most popular, most famous points of attraction, and especially if you are a foodie, it kind of collects all of the yummy food from all around the city and the most renowned restaurants, and then puts them all in a sort of pop-up style under one roof. So really cool to see, and headed there to get some yums.
Pulls me in and pushes me to beginnings are always hard. I never know where to start, and I keep looking back to where I've been, tilling and working ground, never knowing what would be found. this seed must fall down into the ground below.
Puxarão voltas pela saudade, desespero e alma assim.
Quem sabe até
And I keep looking back to where I've been.
Good morning from our second last day here in Lisbon. We woke up again bright and early. Today we are in Rocio Square, which is famous for these squiggly line tiles that run through the entire square. It's kind of crazy if you think about how long it must have taken for somebody to lay down these little tiles to create this magnificent pattern. Dave is just droning over there, capturing some awesome footage of the square. So we are back at one of our favorite areas here in Lisbon. We are here at LX Factory. We have never, however, been here on a Sunday, which is when they have their farmers market, kind of artisanal market sort of vibe. So really excited to be here. This is like super trendy, super hipster. Kind of like Distillery District if you're from Toronto. It's very similar to that. It's got a really cool bookstore. And I'm excited to be here on a Sunday to actually be able to see what the market looks like.
It was a sunny day when you knocked upon my door. Oh, I got a different kind of feeling, the kind I never had before. I thought this was quite the coincidence.
Good morning from our very last day here in Lisbon. Dave and I are just about to pick up our scooters, our bird scooters. We always get a month pass when we're here, which gives us basically unlimited rides for our entire time spent here. We're gonna head over to Alfama, Miradouro, Santa Luzia, and we're gonna go try to get some very last shots before we head home to Toronto and finally end this summer in Europe. It's been so fun. Just beautiful. All to ourselves. It's actually not that early in the morning right now. It's actually 7:30, but not a lot of people are here except for really delivery people. Did you get some good shots?
Yep. It's hard not to.
And that's a wrap.
Rap.
Did some droning, got some shots in, saw the Miradouros without pretty much any people, which honestly I'm surprised at because 8:30 in the morning I thought there would be more people out, but we're all good to go. We're gonna enjoy the last day taking my parents souvenir shopping. I gotta get my mandatory last pastel de nata from my very favorite place here, Manteigaria. And we're just gonna take it easy. It's gonna be a nice day in Lisbon. A little bit cloud cover, high of 28, 29, so it's a nice cool day here. We've had a heat wave this week and gonna soak up what's left of our beautiful little European adventure. How not excited are you to go home?
Maybe I'll just come back next week.
Now that we have a place here, Dave's like, oh, I'm just gonna come back. So cute. I wish I could always send people footage. Birdies on the way home. So we are on foot, headed to...
I'm on feet.
You're on feet? Oh yeah, that's true. I guess I'm on 2 feet, so we're on foot. We're walking to this place called Conservaria Lisboa, and it is one of the things you have to do when you're in Lisbon, and that is go to a canned fishery. more famously known for their sardines, but I don't like sardines, but they can a lot of other things. Dave loves sardines. And this conservativa is actually, I think it was founded in 1910 or 1930, something like that, early 1900s. It's one of the oldest conservativas in Lisbon, and I've actually never been here, but apparently it looks like an apothecary, so I'm quite excited for that. And just like that, we are on our way home. Thank you so much for being a part of this month and a bit long journey. It has been so nice traveling with you. Our Uber is around the corner. We're headed to the airport, and I'll see you back in Toronto. I hope you all have an inspiring rest of your day. Remember, kindness doesn't cost a thing, and we'll see you next time. Bye.